Welcome to Puebla City, Mexico, known for its delicious food, beautiful churches, and cultural scene. Now this video provides 10 reasons why people love Puebla City.
I was just a glimmer back in 69. Thank you.
Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Puebla City, Mexico. Population around 3.3 million. Now just for context, we have a map here. We have circled Puebla City. Puebla City is 2 hours from Mexico City and 2.5 hours from Cordoba. Now this video will provide 10 reasons why people love Puebla City. People love Puebla City because of Puebla Cathedral. The Catedral De Puebla, or Puebla Cathedral, is a colonial Roman church overlooking the Zocalo Square in the historic center of Puebla. One of Mexico's most sacred sites and one of its oldest churches, the Puebla Cathedral was first built back in 1575. Constructed in a mixture of Renaissance and Baroque styles, the cathedral has a dark stone facade and two twin towers, one of which remains a bell tower. Inside you can explore 14 chapels and an unusual octagonal altar. The dome is special in itself as it was built to mirror that of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. People love Puebla City because of the Zocalo. The tree-lined Zócalo is the most famous center square in Puebla. This park-cum-plaza was originally built in the shape of a rectangle, but was redesigned in the shape of a square as it was considered more attractive. The plaza served as the main market for Puebla up until the late 18th century, and bullfights were famously held here from 1566 to 1722. Today, the square is a site of many cultural and political events, and there are plenty of fascinating statues and sculptures to explore, from Juan Hendrix to Monumento al Castillo de Puebla. Don't miss the San Miguel Archangel Fountain, circa 1777, the City Hall, and the Casa de la Manesco, and the Puebla Cathedral. People love Puebla City because of Callejon De Los Sapos. The Callejon De Los Sapos, or the Alley of the Toads, or the Toad Quarter, is one of Puebla's most famous streets, characterized by bright yellow, orange, and blue buildings. Its unusual name stems from colonial times when the San Francisco River flooded its banks onto 6 South Street. To take advantage of the excess water, the locals built mills along the Callejon de los Sapos, which in turn brought an abundance of toads to the area. While not many toads remain today, there is a toad fountain that pays tribute to the street's unique history. A major highlight is the Toad Alley Market, where you can find antique books, iconic pottery, and other interesting treasures on Sunday mornings. Visit on a Friday or Saturday night and soak up the music and laid-back atmosphere. People love Puebla because of the Biblioteca Palafoxiana. The Biblioteca Palafoxiana is an important public library in the center of Puebla. In fact, as it was established in 1646, it's the oldest public library in the Americas. Inside, you can discover over 41,000 pieces of Mexican and international literature, from books to manuscripts, many of which date back to the 15th century. While the library has been damaged by 2 1999 earthquakes, it's managed to survive, and its 2003 rebuild is a perfect place for a quiet read. 3 layers of bookshelves made from carved cedar and white pine surround the walls. The most interesting find includes the earliest New World dictionaries and the 1493 Nuremberg Chronicle. People love Puebla because of the Museo Amparo. The Museo Amparo, or the Amparo Museum, is one of Mexico's most iconic historical museums, spread out over 2 colonial buildings dating back to the 17th and 18th century. One of them was a former hospital. The museum details Mexico's fascinating history with pre-Hispanic, modern, and colonial artwork, as well as ceramics, pottery, and ancient murals. Mesoamerican artifacts include the Mayan stela, a variety of old world furniture, and 100-year-old retablos. When you've had your fill of Mexican history, stop for a refreshment on the Rooftop Cafe Terrace. Guided tours are available. People love Puebla City because of Fort de Loreto. The 18th century Fort Loreto is a historic military landmark and fortress in Puebla City. Initially built as a religious shrine in the 1600s, it was fortified 2 centuries later when it served as the site of one of the most famous battles in Mexican history, one that's now marked with the annual Cinco de Mayo. Visitors can brush up on their knowledge of the notorious Battle of Puebla in the Museum of Non-Intervention. Exhibits include letters, documents, and paintings of the infamous battle, as well as old military uniforms and weapons. There's also an exhibit on Benito Juarez, the first Mexican president. While you're here, visit the surrounding Centro Cívico Cinco de Mayo Park with its soccer stadium, planetarium, playing fields, and Museo Imagina. People of Puebla City because of the Church of Santo Domingo. The Church of Santo Domingo, now known as the Quechua Pueblo, is a historic mission church in Puebla. First built back in 1607, the church was initially destroyed by locals as a sign of rebellion during the Spanish invasion. It was then rebuilt in the 1700s but destroyed again by floods. Santo Domingo went 10 years without a church in the town. The current day Santo Domingo Church was only rebuilt in 1886 and designed in the same style as the original church. Visitors can now explore the interior of the historic church when they visit Quechua Puebla. Don't miss the arts and craft fair held on Labor Day and the various festivities held over Christmas. People of Puebla City because of the Cantona Ruins. The Cantona Ruins are a Mesoamerican archaeological site located around an hour's drive from Puebla, Mexico. While excavations have begun, it's believed that less than 10% of the original ancient city has been seen today, from cobblestone causeways, patios, and private residences to ball courts, temples, and a necropolis. During its heyday, Cantona was a walled city on a prominent trading route between the Gulf Coast and the Central Highlands. Spread across 3 separate sections, it was considered one of the largest and most modern cities in pre-Hispanic times during its prime. The town was at its busiest between 600 and 1000 CE. It was then abandoned after 1050 AD. Cantona's highlights include the Earth Fertility Plaza and the on-site museum. People of Puebla City because of the Estrella De Puebla. The Estrella de Puebla, or Star of Puebla, is Mexico's alternative to the United Kingdom's London Eye. This massive observation wheel offers some of the best views over Puebla City with its 30-minute rotation. Once the largest observation wheel in the world at the time it was built, the Estrella de Puebla remains the tallest of its kind in Latin America. It runs every day of the week, but is especially spectacular at night when the city is lit up beneath you. A full rotation lasts half an hour and is a great way to see the city's famous landmarks and volcanoes. Inside the linear park complex that houses the Star of Puebla, you'll also find the Art Park, the Metropolitan Park, and the Adiac Riverwalk. People of Puebla City because of Africam Safari. Africam Safari is a safari park on the outskirts of Puebla City, open to the public in 1972. It was initially the private animal farm of Captain Carlos Espiritu, a famous Mexican businessman. It was named after a combination of his surname and Africa, where most of the animals originally came from. Today, the safari park boasts a variety of different ecosystems and natural habitats where the animals can roam freely. About 2,500 animals of 350 different species call the park home, including giraffes, Asian water buffaloes, African elephants, white rhinoceroses, American black bear, and Nubian ibex, to name a few. Don't miss the Adventure Zone, a car-free area where visitors can explore a butterfly park, herbarium, an insectarium, a botanical garden, as well as kangaroo and bat exhibits. Other highlights of the park include bird shows, a zip line, and the nocturnal safari, where you can explore the park at night when the animals are most active. The reasons provided in this video are not all the reasons why people love Puebla City. If you've got a reason why you love Puebla City, pop it in the comment section. I'll make another video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao for now!